to Blockchain. Wow. Okay, so we're live presently on YouTube and on LinkedIn, and we have to appreciate everyone who's taken out time to join us on this particular live. I'd like to introduce to you an amazing young person. And I'm going to use that word young person because, okay, phone check. Yeah, this is so unprofessional. Phone ringing
It's
already.
fine.
Um, it's an amazing opportunity for us to talk about real world applications when it comes to blockchain technology and when it comes to the economy and the benefits of blockchain. We're going to be engaging to earn. It's driving this creator economy. How the creator economy can leverage on blockchain technology is where we would like to speak today. When it comes to artist relations, partnership, music strategy, marketing, in fact, just being an all round business professional in the music industry, who better for us to invite to blockchain today than Mr. Kolapo Oladapo? Now, he's a lawyer, he's a techpreneur, and music business professional. It's great to have you on the show with us.
It's great to be here. Thank you for thinking of me to be here. But it's always a pleasure speaking about stuff I'm passionate about. One of which
You're
is
welcome. You're
the
so welcome.
blockchain.
Who's
Yeah,
the young friend we're hearing from there? Who's that?
it's one of my good friends called
uh,
Sir. He's trying
Sir.
to talk about the blockchain. Yeah, that's my.
All right, then, not to worry, not to worry. We appreciate him as well. So for those of you who would like to be part of the show, you can, of course, go straight into the chat and ask us questions directly. We will see them almost immediately. We'll also be able to see your comments, contributions, and we appreciate all of those as well. So let me do the whole very professional presenter thing and give some background to the topic. Shall I? So,
Sure.
the world for content creation and creators has really undergone a lot of change since the 21st century began. Creators have been catching up with this rapid pace of technological evolution. However, for most creators, a long standing pain point still exists. Cryptocurrency can be used for digital trade and has real world financial value.
Yeah.
NFTs, once minted, ascribe to a certain value to tangible or digital assets, which can range from art and, of course, music. Artists can also choose to collect royalties this way. NFTs can be auctioned off or sold on blockchain with crypto, which can be converted into fiat or, let's say, real money. Social media platforms today are increasingly leveraging advanced technologies to offer better experiences to users, from hosting game platforms to offering virtual worlds. Decentralized technologies are making users the owners, finally, the owners of their creations. So let's talk a little bit about this. Kolapo, when you first came across the term NFTs, how did it make you feel
Yes.
and what was your first response?
Um, I was very curious about what the real life application, because I've always owned Bitcoin, and that's just buying and selling. So when I found out that art could also be a currency, this is a different thing. Like somebody is changing art and can exchange that art as a means of trade. It was
Yeah,
very
sure.
interesting to see people actually engage with it as a form of transaction. So yeah, ever since then, I've been learning by doing. I created my own NFT a couple of months ago, and I launched it. It's called Nigerian Oxygen, and
Nigerian
it's just
oxygen.
yeah,
Interesting.
it's basically based on a documentary I shot for Wazobia FM
Okay.
more than 3 years ago, which is basically capturing the juxtaposition of Lagos, looking at it from the life of people at Takwa Bay who don't have electricity and all of
Mm,
that. So the NFT itself is a collection of illustrations
mm,
made by different illustrator, one of which is Debola Abimbolu, who uh,
okay.
worked on stuff I see every day when I'm going to work, like hawkers, policemen peeing on do not urinate signs, and stuff that just screams Lagos on site. So NFTs are an interesting way. They are an interesting innovation, and it's good to see that there's something applicable in terms of intellectual property tracing to reward who is actually the artist, like you mentioned earlier as well.
So that word tracing, is it seemed very lawyer like, to use the word tracing,
Yeah,
and of course you are a lawyer. From legal standpoint, what are the, I mentioned pain points earlier on. What exactly
yes.
is that pain point, that people or music managers are actually feeling? Because not everyone understands what exactly it
Yeah,
means.
yeah. So before I even answer that, I would like to go into like what the blockchain is itself. It is a system that basically ensures that when a change is made on one particular thing,
Mm,
uh, depending on whatever number of owners own that thing, the change reflects and is logged on the platform, as
mm,
opposed to what we have now, where you have different verification system. The blockchain is kind of the fastest verification system you have now when it comes to items that exist online. So
okay.
um, not to bore everybody, because blockchain is something people are like, oh, I don't understand it, so I'm not going to engage with it. So the
Sure.
reason why we have credit card numbers, CVV codes, OTPs, is because they need to verify that whoever is doing that transaction is not just the person doing it, but they are secure in doing it on both ends. The
Mm,
blockchain reduces the time in which this verification is done, which is
mm,
why it's a very fast, unregulated payment system. Because the reason why you need regulation is because regulators are there as kind of the intermediary to make sure that the verification is done, the processing is verified, the securities, the amount you're paying is the amount is deducted from your account, and it reflects as does. But the
yeah.
blockchain over time is making these regulators redundant, because A
Mm,
can just contact with B
mm,
with the blockchain connecting to both sides. And now, so if what happens when you pay with your Visa card is you pay with Visa, the
mm,
request goes to the Visa server. Visa
mm,
confirms that yes, this is a card. Then it goes to your bank. Then your bank
mm,
confirms. Then it goes to that person's bank, and
mm,
all that process
yeah.
just happens really
Yeah.
fast, and all that. But the blockchain just cuts that time into more than half. Where the blockchain is just like, I already have the information,
Mm,
and I can just connect A to B without having to go through all those verification processes. So
okay.
you can see the use of blockchain in insurance with the B3I. You can see it in payments with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all these other cryptocurrencies. But in music, you can see blockchain very applicable in using it to identify who the rightful owner of a particular media
Okay.
is.
So
And
that's the part you
in
need to really
yeah,
explain. That's the part
yeah,
that people need
yeah,
to key into. How does it
yeah.
help?
Okay, so how it helps is if I create something in Nigeria and I create a piece of music, right? Right
Mm,
now, the now model is, we have collection agencies in different company in Nigeria countries. In Nigeria, we have COSON, we have PMAN, we have a lot of collection agencies, and those collection agencies are doing basically what the blockchain can do, verifying, making sure that the number of plays you have are the numbers of plays you are earning for, and they
mm,
also take their own commission out of that for their services. But
okay.
what the blockchain uh, is going to do or can do
Mm,
is to be able to say, if I make a song in Nigeria, for instance,
mm,
and somebody's listening to it in America, I don't have to go through the American collection agency, or their own whatever. I get paid instantly, because the reason why you need those intermediaries is to verify your rights, to
true.
make sure that the record label is getting their fair share, to make sure that the remittance is, whatever percentage you have agreed. But if all of that is integrated into the blockchain, it makes verification faster, because the only reason why, payments might look like it's delaying is because there's a lot of verification and processing going on. So there's no error in it. But the blockchain, so imagine someone listening to your song, for instance, now in China, and you get paid same day. Everybody in that, the songwriter, the producers, they get paid instantly, because the verification of who owns it, how much they should get, is done instantaneously, as the listener is even listening immediately as well.
Fantastic.
So exactly. So it sounds fantastic, and
Yeah.
it also eliminates the burden of late remittance to artists.
So
And
that issue
uh,
of
yeah,
corruption, I'm so sorry
yeah,
to stop you in your tracks
no
there.
problem.
This issue of
Yeah,
corruption, um, it always has felt that with technology, as long as
yeah,
human beings are running it, that it's
yeah,
almost that there's nothing that's incorruptible. There is
yeah.
this, I'm going to use the word misconception, that
Mm,
as with anything that is online, it could be in quote hacked or
correct.
delayed, or the bubble could in quote burst. So
Mm.
to those who have that mindset, what exactly would you say to them?
I would say that every system, including, we used to keep money under our mattresses or in our house before, but now we do have banks. And from banks, we have people providing virtual cards
Mm,
now. Then, now we have cryptocurrencies, and, money has a lot of names: bonds, debt servicing, mortgages, credits, and money will continue to evolve into different things, right? So
mm,
we are not going to say because um, something has the potential of being hacked, we going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. No,
okay.
we need to learn. And you raise a very important point. We can talk about all the good things that crypto can do, but
Mm,
the most important thing is humans need to not just trust each other, but the system as well, so that the system can work for everybody. So
okay.
no system is infallible. Whether you're keeping your money under your mattress or you're keeping it in a safe,
Mm,
everything has its own loopholes. And the more people use it, the faster that the people who are investing in this industry can
mm.
also find blocks to these loopholes. Yeah.
That's a question. That's actually a question. Who are the key players now in this particular industry? Who are the sector of society who are actually taking it up? And do you think it's being embraced by the sectors of society that can ensure its longevity?
I think at the end of the day, the big players will be the fintech type companies that do blockchain, because
Okay.
blockchain, the idea of blockchain is to take out the intermediaries and
Mm,
deal basically with a secure system, one of the most secure systems ever invented in human history, and just do DIY. Blockchain is basically financial independence for people who don't want to go, with the normal banking system. Have criminals taking advantage of it? Yes, but the same way criminals are taking advantage of our current banking system, even before blockchain came into being. Uh,
mm,
and, there's no end to that, but we can do better by having secure system. We have companies like Binance,
mm,
Coinbase, even our local Patricia.com here. We have
mm.
those companies who are thriving in very short period of time. Patricia.com is now a 10-year-old company. It's less than
Mm.
5-year old, and look at how much ground it has gained. Look at how much regulation is against Bitcoin in Nigeria, and it's still the Nigeria is still the third largest market, or I think second largest market for Bitcoin in the world.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can't really stop trade, because at the end of the day, uh, blockchain, whatever you want to call it, Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's all about trade. People need to trade, and people are going to find the most convenient, most accessible way to trade. So,
Okay.
yes.
So now,
Mm,
that sentence, I'm going to take that from you. The most convenient, most accessible way to trade, but
yes.
then it does feel like some people have the mindset that people are looking for the most convenient way or accessible way to blow or to hammer or to make money, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
And it does feel like this technology has so much more to it than just the financial implications. So for those who are looking for a get rich quick opportunity, do you think this is the right direction for them?
I think for both those who are looking for a get rich quick opportunity, they should really like work on stuff that is real, because the blockchain is real and the rules of the real world also apply. The
Okay.
blockchain is not a system that just turns 2 naira to 4 naira. No, it
Mm,
is a system that secures whatever media, whatever data is being transacted on it. That's just the bottom way. Whatever you do with it is, it still needs you to work. So whether if your product is not good enough and you put it on, the NFT or a blockchain or any blockchain type service, if it's not good enough for people to purchase it, it's not going to work, because at the end of the day, it still boils down to buying and selling. So
mm,
if you're selling a substandard product to people, it doesn't mean that if it doesn't work out in real life, it will work on the blockchain. Are there companies interested in investing in people who are enthusiastic about this? Yes, but that doesn't mean it's a get rich quick scheme. It's just that those companies are looking to educate people more
mm,
about the blockchain. That is why they are looking into people who are taking the blockchain, talking about it, people just like you.
mm.
And those people are, very passionate about it, and they're investing in those people to make sure that the gospel of the blockchain is widespread as well. So it's an educational approach to it. It's not like they're just dashing money out to people as well. Yeah.
So I've had quite a lot of pushback on even starting talking about blockchain online on any platform at
Mm.
all.
Yes.
Why? Because I've been put into a particular sector of society. I'm
Yeah.
a wife. I'm a mom, and
Yeah.
this particular industry has been considered one that, in quote, belongs to an irresponsible set of young people. Now, this is not to say that people haven't done the industry dirty. This is
Yeah.
just to say that it's been hard for me to even find women in the same social circles to come out
Mm.
publicly to have conversations on this. And hopefully, one or two are watching right now and they're willing to join us on the podcast one of these days.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
why is it that you think that there's not been able to be a shift? A lot of money has been made. In the end, yes, in when it comes to NFTs now and the music industry, it's improving on industries. It's giving considerable power to content creators.
Yeah.
Why is it that you feel there hasn't been a shift till now?
The reason why there's not been a shift, first of all, is that there's not been that breakthrough yet in people understanding that this thing is just a transparent. It's almost like it's too good to be true. Like, how can a system be this easy? We are used to processes and things being really tough, and when it's really easy, it looks like maybe it's fraud at the end of the day. And blockchain has existed for, it didn't start 10 or 10, 20 years ago. Like, people have been working with cryptos way longer than that. So it's not something that just popped up or is a fad. It's
Mm,
not, something that would disappear anytime soon. It's just the adoption is really slow here in
mm,
Africa, because secondly, there's a lot of regulation, and the government itself is not mature enough to understand that this is another way that they can
mm,
also make life easier for their citizens. Maybe because they are not making regulatory fees and it's end to end, and they
mm,
really can't, know what is being transacted, and they kind of don't have control over that. But you have countries like the US who enacted in 2018 the Money Modernization Act, I think is called. A Music Modernization Act, which is called, it was signed by President Donald Trump. And basically, what this act is saying is fair pay to creators. Everybody
mm,
who creates something needs to get fair pay for work done,
Right.
depending on their extent of their rights on that particular job, on that particular piece of work. And I don't think that is anything. There's no conspiracy around that. There's nothing bad about giving fair pay to it. So it's a question of what is the best way to make sure that fair use attracts fair pay. And
Mm,
I think the biggest fear for the government is, they don't have visibility on
mm,
how these things are being traded, and that visibility itself is something of great concern, because you don't want criminals to take advantage of it and all of that. But outrightly sidelining it, or throwing the baby out with the bathwater, is not going to help us, because no matter whatever you say about crypto, it was said about the internet as well. People
mm,
came,
It's not going to help
it
us
is
because
satanic, it's
mm.
bad, it's for devil's children. Meanwhile, in fact, there are some churches that even banned, TV and internet. Meanwhile, those churches
And
are now, streaming
the
online
streaming.
as well.
Hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. So did Jesus change at the end
No.
of the day? But yeah, exactly. So you
He's
need
the
to
same
know that.
yesterday, today, and forever. You know.
Amen. So it comes with the territory at the end of the day. So it's
Yeah.
nothing new. Even the vaccines, people said a lot about vaccine. It's gonna
Mm.
turn you to the Antichrist. It's gonna
Oh,
do this and
goodness.
that as well. Exactly. So it comes with the territory when something is new and is groundbreaking, and a lot of people in government don't understand it. It's
Yeah.
nothing to worry about. It's not even a distraction in the slightest. But
Okay.
Bitcoin, crypto and its usage is not everything crypto that has to do with money. Some
Of
things are
course.
just as good for tracking who owns something, and how to reward those people adequately. Yeah.
So I heard this term, well, this saying, I think 3 years ago, that smart contracts have the ability to put lawyers out of a job one day. Have you heard that before? I know you're
Yeah,
a lawyer.
but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, technology is something that is, like they say in Yoruba, that the idol cannot be greater than the cover.
Mm.
Do you get? So that the day the idol annoys the cover will show you the wood it was made from. So it's the same with tech. It was made. It's the same with tech. It will make life better. Will it make life easier? Yes. Will it make life harder for people that refuse to evolve with this system? Yes. But will it take people out of professional jobs? No.
Mm.
We've had, automated robots building cars faster than when we used to use hands to assemble
Yeah.
cars. What
Yeah.
happened? We had better cars. We have cars that run on electricity now. We have cars that, save more fuel now. We have
Yeah.
cars that, can do, way more than cars could do in the past. Cars that have heater seats,
Yeah.
safer cars and all of that. So demonizing, at the end of the day, if the thing is killing people or is hurting people, nobody's going to use it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Point
So
taken.
it's exactly. So yeah, I don't
I
think
want to
anything
touch
is
on
taken in. Yeah.
I want to touch on your NFT. You have an NFT present on OpenSea right now.
Yes,
You
I do.
mentioned it earlier. It's titled Nigerian Oxygen. It's
Yes,
going for less than one ETH. How much is that? 0.17
that's
Ethereum,
about
right?
$200, dollars, I think.
It's
Yeah,
about $200.
yeah.
That's amazing. So, could you run us through the process of, uh, you know, creating your own NFT? Was it easy? Did it take time? And what were the factors that you had to put in place?
No, it wasn't easy. First of all, nothing is easy when you're trying to access it from Nigeria. But
Oh,
first of all, I'm even going to write the whole like short blog thing about how I did that. So it cost me
okay,
12,000 naira to mint that,
okay,
and to even pay the 12,000 naira is a problem because Nigerian cards are not accepted on most of these sites. So that's an
wow,
accessibility problem, first of all. And secondly, I only made that NFT because I wanted to learn. I started reading so many articles about how NFTs work. So I wanted
Mm.
to learn by doing.
Okay.
So listing an NFT is as easy as anything. You just have to make sure that, like with every product, there is storytelling behind it. There's a
Okay.
good story to tell. It connects with people, and it's something people want to have. It's
Mm.
not something I'm looking to make $1 million out of, although that would
Okay.
be bad. But it's
Mm.
just something that I wanted to learn by doing. So first of all, there's an hindrance in payment. So that kind of stifles. For instance, if it was a thriving, business, the NFT itself, it will basically limits local creators, local artists who can
Mm.
speak English, who don't know how to read some of these things properly. It's going to limit them in monetizing their art, first of all. So
Okay.
that's a limitation here locally that
Mm.
you would find a company solving that problem in the future once NFT,
Soon enough.
you know,
So that's a
exactly,
space right now for
exactly,
the
that's a space.
uneducated
Yes,
to
NFT
create a platform.
payments
Yeah.
access, exactly, NFT payments, NFT
Mm.
minting payments accessibility is a market
Mm.
already, even from that's my personal experience alone.
Mm. Mhm.
Secondly, people need to know how to manage their expectations as to, okay, you don't want to mint an NFT and call it like $1 million or whatever,
Mm.
because you want to be able to put a lot of weight behind it. So my Nigerian Oxygen NFT will be probably 24 different illustrations at the end of the day. I'm just starting with one for now.
Okay.
So that may probably take me 2 years to do. So if you hear that I sell it for $1 million,
Really?
just know that
Two
it
years.
took
It took a
exactly because
long time to put it together. Then that first
exactly.
one.
So exactly. So it's illustration. Sometimes I may change the illustration to maybe something that is moving. Just keep
Mm.
thinking, will I buy this? Ask yourself, like, will I buy this even for 1 naira if they sold it
Mm.
to me?
Mm.
So, just basically reinventing it, looking at the market, what's trending. Do you want to make
Mm.
an NFT about BB Niger
Mm.
people? Maybe make an
Mm.
NFT of each of the housemates. That's something
Mm.
that's trending right now. You work with
Mm.
the BB Niger company and open their mind and say, look, I have these
Yeah.
NFTs. I've done an illustration of all your housemates. I
Yes.
want to
So.
put it online. And people
Mm.
are going to, even if people don't buy it, they're going to look at it. And that is visibility for you as a creator already.
Okay.
and
So
and
can
and
I
yeah,
okay? Can I ask
go on.
about the platform OpenSea, for instance?
Yes.
First of all, OpenSea it's on the internet, right? It's not a decentralized application, or
No,
is it? It's not a
it is
decentralized application.
it is a DIY application in the sense that it's like
Okay.
Conga for NFTs. It's like
Okay.
Conga .com for NFTs. Yes,
So you can essentially have your own shopping
you
or
can have
shop
your own
front
shop
corner,
in
your
in
shelf.
minutes. So I
Yeah.
think a better analogy would be to say it's gg.com,
Okay.
gg.ng for NFT. So you can just go there, list any products, and
Yeah.
they already have enthusiasts who are there searching for NFTs every
Fantastic.
second to resell
Mm,
as well in developed markets. So yeah, that's
fantastic.
what it is.
So
Mm.
you did mention there's an interesting gap there for people to key
Oh yeah,
into.
accessibility
Um,
is a big problem.
mm,
Payment
but
accessibility.
then again, um uh it is pegged to the blockchain. The costing of
Of
each
course.
product is
Yeah,
uh
yeah.
so for instance now your NFT is pegged to Ethereum blockchain. Am I right?
Ethereum cryptocurrency, which is hosted on the blockchain, correct? Yes.
Aha, beautiful. So now I do know that there are different um, storefronts for NFTs now. I do
Yes.
believe Binance as well has theirs. Um,
Yes.
okay, how long do you think this is going to take to become the first go-to place for everything online? Because if you can sell your art on platforms like this, you can obviously also probably sell your music. They're
Correct.
just going to start adding different applications. How long do you think it's going to take? That's one. Then two, being pegged to blockchain and cryptocurrencies, don't you think that the success of those cryptocurrencies is now dependent on the success of NFTs?
Okay, to answer your first question, I don't think it's going to take that long. It may take us long, just like it takes us long in Nigeria to catch up to everything.
Mm.
But for the developed markets who are actually taking this on heads on, like the US, like China, it's not going to take long. I'm sure before the end of this year, you start seeing stuff like that because companies like Spotify,
Okay, I think we lost
that's a
the. Okay, we lost your link just there. Could you say that again? We lost you for a few seconds.
So sorry. So I said it's not going to take long to answer your first question. Companies like Spotify are already displaying people's NFTs on Apple artist profiles. That is a reality that's going on right now.
Wow.
So it's not going to take long. Before the end of this year, you're going to see artists selling. Justin Bieber is already in the metaverse, nominated from last year for best NFT.
Wow.
Best metaverse performance, and that's the MTV Video Music Award. So it's not like it's
Wow.
one NFT award, one blockchain award somewhere. It's
It's
mainstream.
real. It's
So
real.
just like it will take Nigeria a long time to catch up. Yes, like we always
Mm.
do, but
Hmm.
it is already a reality. NFTs are on artist profiles on Spotify. People are doing full-on concerts and paying in the metaverse,
Mm.
and yeah. So it's not the future is now. And
Yeah.
secondly, to answer your question about, sorry, I forget your second question.
um Being pegged to the value of those cryptocurrencies. So for
Yes.
instance, if those currencies are not doing well, do you think it's going to
Yeah.
affect the market for NFTs?
I think when you break down NFTs, first of all, NFTs don't determine the price of crypto. Dictates the price of NFTs. So
Okay.
so crypto is what you buy the NFT with. NFT also can be a currency as well, depending on. It's like an art dealer. It's like trade by
Mm.
barter, but
Okay.
you can still so you can kind of use your
So you
art
can
to buy
exchange, so you can use
exactly.
one NFT to buy another. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. You can use the NFT to even buy a real car in real life, depending on what that person thinks, that NFT is worth. Like the Bored Ape NFT, for instance,
Mm,
is
mm,
a very high value NFT. So
mm,
um, when you break down blockchain, cryptos and blockchain into buying and selling, you realize very fast that it's very different from real world currencies. Like now, the dollar is about 710
mm.
on the streets, and it's
I just got
for
a headache just hearing about that. 710 naira to $1.
exactly,
Feels, feels
exactly
like we're
at the black
like,
market.
mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And that would stabilize eventually, and it's no different
Yeah.
from crypto as well. So if the price of buying a particular commodity is high, obviously demand will decrease, and if the price of buying a particular necessity or a commodity is low, obviously you have more demand. So the same laws of economics apply to it. It's just that it's new, it's buzzing, and everybody, no different rules apply. The same rules of the business world apply on the blockchain as
Mm.
well. It's just that the blockchain is very secure and you can, get things done faster there.
So we're going to be wrapping up very soon, but I wanted to talk a bit about fear
Yeah,
and anxiety around people and money generally. Everybody's afraid of putting their money into something that won't survive or won't thrive
yeah,
or won't take them to the next level.
yeah,
Um, and it has been pegged to the fact that of in recent times, the major cryptos talking Bitcoin, Ethereum, even Tether took a hit. And
yeah,
there's a major dip going on right now.
yeah,
And a lot of people are buying the dip, but a lot of people are escaping on this dip as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Talk to me about how you feel in terms of fear of the market movement.
All right. So still back to my point about the rules of the real world, right? People are afraid of investing in economies right now because of the impending recession. Even in the US, you see companies like Netflix firing a very good percentage of their staff.
Mm,
And that's not the fault of the blockchain, it's just the economy. And you see, people downsizing, cutting their costs, even during the pandemic as well. So these things are real and they trickle down into the blockchain as well. So it's not that the blockchain is in a different world from the real world. So all these recessions and job losses and stuff, it's people that are buying these cryptos and they're buying them with real money. So if those people are affected by the real world, by the economy, you're going to see a
Mm.
dip in those. And it's
Okay.
people that are buying this crypto, and it's going to stabilize at some point. Just like the dollar, just like the naira, just like every other currency that people trade in, there's going to be that stability. There's going to be that dip. It's like the stock market as well.
Yeah.
In the stock market, you see sometimes they'll say, oh, it's a bearish market, it's a bullish market. It changes
Mm.
every day. So it's the same with crypto as well. So the fears are probably based on ignorance, and you can
Mm.
get, just like I have, more education about it by getting yourself involved,
Sure.
because you could
Sure.
make a lot of money or you could be missing out on a lot of knowledge. So it's not everything that has to be to the end of monetary gains. Some stuff you can do it to learn, so that when your children ask you about it, you can sell your child's painting. You can sell your child's painting as an
Yeah.
NFT if it's
Yeah.
really something. Yeah, so you can scan it, send it, even just have fun with it.
Mm.
Show your child and say, "Oh, how is my NFT?" And you can get your child talking about it, and
Interesting.
it's going to be more rewarding, even beyond financials to you. Yeah.
Right there, because I have so many of these drawings, and I'm always
Yeah.
buying paint and color
Yeah.
from it. So I guess I can probably scan some of those and post them on an open maybe a Binance NFT account or whatever it is. But I have to say I really appreciate you for joining us today. We've had an interesting conversation, and for those of you who have questions, there is a live chat that's open right now. I forgot to mention that we were talking so long, I forgot to mention it again. And if there is a question or two you have for Kolapo, now is the time to plug it in before we round up. For those that are just tuning in, we've been talking blockchain, but we've been talking to a brand and music professional and NFT enthusiast, talking about the music industry and how, of course, NFTs and blockchain technology can help us move forward. There's quite a lot happening in the world of crypto right now. In crypto news, I'll be recording that a little later on and posting it right there on YouTube and LinkedIn as well. But it's a world for content creators. It's undergone tremendous change since the beginning of the 21st century, and creators are catching up. Are you catching up? Are you joining the train now before it leaves the station? Are you going to be one of those people who's going to be looking back regretting? All right, so now we have joining us uh Koshemani Lami Lami here, and he has let me see what his comment is. Let's see if it'll show. Okay, he says he just joined in. He must have missed much. Oh wow, thank you so much. I I appreciate that. And now this gentleman right here actually owns Bought Me Cash. So Bought Me Cash is one of the first Nigerian platforms to actually buy and sell cryptocurrency. But he kept with it. And I'm so pleased that he could join us right here. And would like to encourage everyone else to also join us and send in some comments just before we wrap up. So I would like to ask if you have any final thoughts for us, Kolapo, as we go out there with this newfound knowledge and this newfound information. Is there anything that you'd like to touch on before we wrap up?
What I would like to say is that people should not be afraid of seeking knowledge, even if it's something that you're not interested in. Just, a simple Google search into it, instead of, writing things off, will help you. You'll be surprised how you find interest in it. You may not necessarily own a Bitcoin, but it's nice for whether your kids or your cousin, when they're talking about it, you're not out of touch. Even at work, you know, you see top world CEOs, top world investors, angel investors, VC capital, VC investors putting their money into these things, they are not idiots. These are people who have been investing even before crypto came to limelight. So if they are paying attention to it, maybe you should as well.
Mm, well said. I don't think there's a better way to wrap it up than that. Thank you so much, Kolapo, for
Thank,
joining us today. And
thank you very
really
much.
good luck in all your endeavors. I'm going to be checking out your NFT one more time. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, I went to check it out on his website. That's kolapo.com. And there's a lot there, some amazing podcasts. You even have merchandise, resources. You have your own blog posts right there, as well as your NFT. It's called, oh goodness me, I've forgotten the name now. Nigerian Oxygen.
Nigerian Oxygen, yes.
And it's basically an image of one of those street hawker window cleaners, um, and a young child beggar as well, which is being seen through a car window. So that's just to give
Correct.
you a description. I was actually hoping to be able to beam it on the screen here,
Yeah.
but as with all platforms like this that are fresh and new, I haven't figured it out yet. But I have the image here. I was about to
Soon,
show it.
soon.
It just didn't work. Hopefully, I'll be able to get that working next time we speak. Make
No
sure you join
worries.
us
No
again.
worries.
All
I
right, then.
will.
Thank
I
you so
will.
much, Kolapo.
Thank you, Titi.
All right.
Bye.
So, as you can see, it's one of those industries that just keeps moving, keeps growing, keeps blooming beyond recognition. Who would have thought that what was being used for just digital trade of finance and monetary value, or let's say um, yeah, buying and selling of goods and services could actually improve on the creative industry, especially with regards to music. Did you know that NFTs could become could be music? I actually had a conversation with someone last week who had NFT wines for sale, and NFT wine, some beautiful, amazing South African wine bottles were up for sale on as NFTs as well. So where are we now in our mindset? Where are we? Are we expanding it? Are we letting things get too complicated for us? Or are we just going to go in and do our own research? Let me talk a little bit about some of the things in the news now. Now, Hong Kong's to introduce licensing for crypto platforms through AML law. Amendments designed to govern the cryptocurrency market in Hong Kong have been presented to the members of the Legislative Council of China's Special Administrative Region. Now, the Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Terrorist Financing Amendment Bill 2022 was published in the Government Gazette in June and needed their approval in 2 readings to become law. And the authors of the drafts were seeking to introduce licensing for virtual assets service providers, what they're calling VASPs, that's VASPs, and registration for dealers in precious metals and stones as well. So the goal is to impose anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing obligations on businesses working in those 2 sectors. Now, entities working with cryptocurrencies that want to launch a trading platform, for instance, would have to obtain a license from Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commission. Now, obviously, there's going to be a long list of requirements, as with everything new. But this proposal takes into account the recommendations of this task force. Simply put, VASPs can expect to be regulated to the same standard as other institutional clients. The world is moving, people. Are you moving with it? And where is your mindset when it comes to cryptocurrencies, NFTs, blockchain technology, and the opportunities and possibilities for the future? My name, once again, is Titilayo Oyinsan. It's been a pleasure. Until we come your way next time, the future is now.